Hello, I hope that you have your headphones on you because I really want you to listen to what I say during this video. I'm sorry I'm not here today, but I had to go to a conference, so I thought I would share with you so you don't feel like you miss me too much today. Just teasing. The first thing I want you to do is make sure you have this yellow sheet in front of you, and we're going to talk about simplifying expressions and easier ways to do it. So the first thing I want you to remember, and we've talked about this in class a little bit, is the commutative property. And that says the order in which numbers are added or multiplied does not change the sum or product. So we're going to write that in here. I'm going to do a drawing, and I'm going to just abbreviate. You can also. So I'm going to just say the way numbers are added or multiplied does not change the sum or the product. So you can add or multiply in any order, which helps us simplify expressions. The associative property says the way in which numbers are grouped does not change the sum or product. So let's write grouped. Now remember, I'm writing on my mouse pad, so my handwriting is pretty lousy here. Do the best I can. Grouped. So you can group numbers in any order when you add and multiply. So like terms contain the same variables. Oops, there, look at that, I can move me. They contain the same variables. Oh, look at that. Or no variables. Okay, make sure you have this. I'm going to pause the video and scroll down. So let's do a little practicing. I want you to remember what we just learned about, that we can group numbers in any order and it won't affect the answer. So let's regroup these so we can add these easier. Let's say x plus, and let's group the constants together. And I'm going to put them in parentheses so you can see what I'm doing. 4 plus 6 should be grouped together because those are our like terms. If you group like terms together, it makes things much easier. So I'll write x plus, and we all know 4 plus 6 is 10. Let's go down to number 2. So we're multiplying here, and we can still regroup. I always start with my variable. Oops, that's an x. And then my multiplication sign. I hope you know that those dots are multiplication signs. And then I'm going to multiply 8 times 5. And we all know 8 times 5 is 40. Now, this is acceptable, but really what's the way we're going to see this? We're going to see the coefficient written first and then the variable. So please rewrite that, okay? Let's go over to number 3. So I'm going to write my variable first, but I'm going to regroup these numbers. So I'm going to put like terms together in parentheses. And I have 10 plus 15. If you put like terms together in the parentheses, it'll help you remember what you're putting together. And it'll help you remember the signs and use your integer rules. So I have b plus, and 10 plus 15 is 25. Beautiful. Next one. Let's start with our variables first. So I've got 11y. What's the other like term here? Well, it's the other, oops, I messed that up, didn't I? Let me start again. 11y plus 7y. And I'm going to scratch this out. I hope that doesn't bother you. Plus 8. So 11y plus 7y, I hope you know, is 18y. Make sure you're showing all of these steps. Do not just copy the answer down because you need to remember how to group them together. Makes your job easier. Okay, we have more practice to do. If I were you, I would pause the video, try number 1, and then come back and check with me to see how you did. All right, hopefully you tried it by yourself. I'm going to rewrite my variables first when I'm adding. And now I'm going to group together my 4, and I'm going to put them in parentheses only to show you that those are like terms. You don't have to put them in parentheses. You do not have to at all. So I'm going to keep those together, and I'm just showing you all of my steps here. X plus y, and 4 plus 10 is 14. That's all there is to it. Number 2, did you notice these are not like terms? So let's regroup these. We have 7 plus, and I have in parentheses x plus 7x. Okay, so I have 7 plus Don't forget, there is a coefficient in front of the x. Do you remember what it is? It's an invisible number. It's 1. So 1x plus 7x is 8x. Remember, the commutative property says I can add these in any order. So I'm going to reverse it also so you can see they both work. 8x plus 7. Oops, I hope that you can tell it's a 7. Back down here, number 3. Pause the video, try it on your own first, and then check with me. So now we have x times, in parentheses, 12 times 3. And that becomes x times 36. Commutative property, I can rewrite it as 36x. And that's how you're normally going to see this, because 36 is what? The coefficient. Let's regroup. Ooh, we've got several like terms here. If you notice, I've got x's here. And actually, let's get into this habit of circling and including the sign. These are both positive, so that's good news. I've got 5x plus x. And then, if you notice, and I'll use a different sign for these, I'm going to put a square around the constants. And I have 6 plus 2, so I'm going to just write that 6 plus 2. Now I'm just going to combine 5x plus x. Ooh, what's the coefficient in front of x again? It's 1. So I have 6x plus 8. All right, I'm going to pause the video and scroll down. Okay, in this section, we're going to practice writing, translating from words into algebra variables and constants. So why don't you try it on your own first and then turn it back on and check your work. Sum means add. So it says the sum of 4 and a number is added to 23. So the sum of 4 plus a number, we don't know what it is, so we call it x. That's added to 23. Now remember what we said, we're going to group like terms together. So we really have x plus, and instead of me rewriting it, I know 4 plus 23 is going to be 27. Okay, now let's go to number 6. The product means multiply. So if I'm multiplying 6 times a number, and that's multiplied by 9, you might see it like this. I could also see it like this. Now, when we multiply, the numbers do not have to have like terms because multiplication is a different rule. So 9 times 6 equals 54 times x, okay? This is where it gets confusing because multiplication you can do if they're not like terms. Number 7, the sum means add. 12 times a number, so we've got 12x, and 15 is added to 11 times the same number, which means 11x. Now I'm just adding here, so 12x plus 11x should be 33x. Oh, no, 23x plus 15. Okay, last one. Product. Do you remember what product meant up here? It means multiply. So the product of 3 times a number is added with the product of 15 times the same number. That's it. 3x plus 15x is 18x. And your last step today is to upload a video that I can see that you showed all of the work. Can you see all of my work? Make sure when you upload yours, I can see yours. You should see everything very clearly. So this gets folded and put into your math interactive notebook. And I want you to send me that video. I'll see you Wednesday.